All right, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not going to remember much about this movie, but I am going to remember forever the immortal words of Cassie Lang, who told MODOK, "Don't be a dick. It's never too late to stop being a dick." All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. The title just rolls off the tongue. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and you don't need to bother to do that because it looks like just a bunch of actors jumping in front of green screens or on that little stage that they use for The Mandalorian called the Volume. Now, in the Mandalorian show, it looks nice because it's on TV, but in IMAX, it just doesn't hold up. I was experiencing severe CG fatigue watching this movie. I miss the days when our superheroes used to fight in the cities on Earth, maybe in Brooklyn, something simple, something tangible, something real. Yeah, big time CG fatigue. So you can skip it on IMAX or you can just skip the whole movie altogether. I think you'll be fine. So let's give you the plot here real quick. Oh, by the way, this is the spoiler review. So, yeah, you know. All right, so the Ant-Man family is sucked into the quantum realm. They meet Kang. They fight Kang. They fight Kang again. They defeat Kang. The Ant family comes home, but Kang is coming back anyway. So what was the point of all that? Michael Pena, for those Michael Pena fans, he's not in this film. So this film does lack Latinx representation. No Pena, no peace, I've heard already out there on the interwebs. So that was pretty disappointing. I think the original Ant-Man, how about Ant-Man 2? Well, definitely the original Ant-Man had more heart. Michael Pena definitely helped add some heart and some nice humor to the film. This movie doesn't have that kind of heart. It's just a lot of crap up on the screen. So the movie starts off with Ant-Man enjoying his fame. He's on a book tour, which is pretty pointless to the plot. And his daughter, Cassie Lang, is now an activist who was put in jail for a hot minute. And that's pretty pointless to the plot. After a family dinner, they all go down to the basement, and Michael Douglas and Cassie reveal to the rest of the family that they've been making high-tech ants. And they've also, I don't know if they have sent probes yet, but they're about to send a probe down to the quantum realm. And I'm going to be calling the quantum realm QR because, as you can tell already, brain and lips ain't communicating very well. So the QR. And Michelle Pfeiffer's character spent 30 years down in the QR. And when she realizes what they're doing, sending these little probes down there, she freaks out and says, like, stop. But too late, because the little thing opens up and sucks everybody down to the QR. All right, so the Ant family, they go down to the QR, and they're fine in their T-shirts and jeans. I mean, they're comfortable. It's not hazardous. They can breathe the air. How convenient. The Ant family is separated. We got Scott and Cassie in one camp, and Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, and Evangeline Lilly in another camp, and they're trying to find each other. When we are in the QR, we see a lot of exotic plants, animals, aliens. Even the houses are organic. And that sounds cool, but it's not really cool. It looked like Marvel Studios was trying too hard to come up with some weird and wacky things. Nothing in this movie has the style of Jack Kirby. It's just all random and all over the place. Some CG alien would be kind of exotic, and then next to that alien would be just a human with some simple makeup or a prosthetic that's real simple. So, yeah, it wasn't great. It's pretty forgettable. This movie tries to be really, really weird, go out of its way to be weird, and a lot of the humor doesn't land. Most of it doesn't land, in my opinion. One weird thing was when Scott and Cassie land, all the alien people are talking and they can't understand their language. So they are forced to drink the ooze. And the ooze is like this bodily fluid from like this jelly CG character. Drink his bodily fluids. And once they drink the fluids, for some reason, the alien language turns into English in their head. Makes no sense. It's just crazy and weird. I know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had the babble fish, but that's better than the ooze for sure. Michelle Pfeiffer, her plan is to seek out her former lover, who, lo and behold, is played by Bill Murray. And normally I'd get excited about Bill Murray, but he's just like average Bill Murray. It's not a great performance. He's there. He does okay. Bill Murray is going to end up being bad. An attempt to turn them over to Kang, and there's like a big fight. One thing about the fight, there's this octopus gag. So when Bill Murray is talking to Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas, he's like drinking exotic drinks, and they're basically like a small octopus that's all cute, and he's going to eat the octopus because it's really small, right? So during this fight, Michael Douglas has his shrinky growy discs, and he throws a shrinky growy disc on one of these octopuses and octopi, and it gets really, really big, and then it eats Bill Murray. See? See what they did there? Yeah. It's just weird. But in the course of that situation, we do learn Michelle Pfeiffer's deep, dark secret that when she was trapped in the QR for 30 years, she met Kang. She, got to know him. He crash landed in the QR. Basically, the Council of Kang exiled him there. Pfeiffer felt bad for him and tried to help him and actually did fix his ship. And then when she touched his ship, when they were about to go back to, leave the QR, she touched the ship and was able to read his mind conveniently. And she learned that he was evil, Kang the Conqueror that kills universes. And she took the ball out of his ship and probably threw a growy shrinky thing on it and made it so big that it couldn't be used anymore for his ship. I think that's what happened. So she basically, stopped him and even her from getting home. And since that point, during her time in the QR, she was a resistance fighter, rallied resistance against Kang, but Kang, since she left, made the QR his kingdom. So there you go. There's the backstory. I will say, Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer's character are the two most interesting characters in this movie. Their interactions were interesting. They seemed to have stakes. There was a fight between the two over the ball thingy from his ship, and that was the only fight that I thought was interesting. Michelle Pfeiffer looks great. She's got great screen presence. And I was thinking, man, I mean, WB is missing a great opportunity to put her back as Catwoman and Michael Keaton as Batman and do a new Batman movie because she looks great. I loved her. All right, so let's get into Jonathan Majors as Kang. So Jonathan Majors, he's a good actor. He's trying hard. Kang is a better villain than Namor by far, but he's no Thanos. Let's be real here. I mean, Kang is sometimes charming. Or he's either angry. That's basically it. He's not scary. He doesn't have the Thanos intimidation factor thing going on. His powers are all over the place. They're limitless and undefined. He wields the Force a lot in this movie like Kylo Ren and can lift people and do all kinds of things that Kylo Ren would do without any explanation. He can do everything until he can't do something like get his little ball back. And that's why he needs Scott Lang to do Ant-Man things, I guess, to get the ball back. But why Kang can't do it, it's never explained. And that's why he's kind of inconsistent. And yeah, I'm good. I don't need to see another Kang movie. But let's talk about MODOK here. Yeah, we like MODOK. He's awesome. But the movie makes MODOK a big old joke. And he's used for comic relief, really. At first, we see MODOK with like a gold mask, and I was like, well, that's different, but maybe I could live with that. And then he takes his gold-like shield mask off, and it's basically the enlarged face of the actor that played Yellow Jacket in the first movie. And it's all like you know, it's like a real face and it's made large. And it does look goofy as hell and it's played for a laugh. Apparently, when Yellow Jacket got, you know, sucked into the machine in the first movie, he went to the QR and Kang saved his head and hooked him up to a machine, and there you go. But, like, although this looks weird, this is comic accurate and it looks good. It's a joke in the movie. It's such a shame. Yeah. Anyway, so Kang catches Scott and gets Scott to go get the ball for him because Kang can't get his ball back. And there's a scene where there's thousands of Scott Langs attempting to like get this ball, and they're all like ants, and they all like get together and make like a tower. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of them, and they almost get the ball, but they can't get the ball. But don't worry, the Wasp will come in and save the day. Meanwhile, when Kang is building his army, so when Kang gets his ball, he's got his ball, he can put it in his ship, he can leave, and he's got basically like a clone army. It looks just like something out of Attack of the Clones, and he's ready to leave to conquer the multiverse. But Cassie Lang is going to give a speech and rally all the people of the QR to rally together to fight Kang. And Scott grows to like Godzilla-like proportions and is stomping into Kang's city, I guess. It looks like Coruscant from the prequel movies. So there's a lot of CG crap going on the screen, and I did not care. I didn't feel connected or invested at all. The people in Scott fail, and Michael Douglas, though, he has an ant army because his little ants got sucked in, and they're super smart and super big now. I won't explain why. Just go with me. And so Michael Douglas summons his giant ant army to go in and attack Kang, and it's more crap up on the screen I don't care about. They appear to beat Kang, but don't worry, they don't beat Kang. Cassie grows big and defeats MODOK. And when MODOK is defeated, he's kind of like crying and going, well, what now? What am I going to do now? And Cassie Lang says, don't be a dick. There's always time to stop being a dick. And he's like, oh, I'll stop being a dick. And he turns into a good guy and fights Kang. He dies fighting Kang, but he says, well, at least I died being an Avenger. And it's like played for a joke, and it's pretty stupid. What happened to good dialogue in movies? I mean, imagine if in Star Wars A New Hope, Luke Skywalker told Han Solo when he left Yavin 4 with his money before the Death Star fight. What if Luke said, Han, stop being a dick? I mean... yeah, I mean, what's going on here? Disney, do better. All right, so one thing that people on YouTube are talking about is a comment from Michael Douglas's character. When his ants are coming in, and it looks like they're beating Kang, but they're not beating Kang. He says something about the benefits of socialism. It's a really quick comment. You know, it's quick. It went over my head. I don't think it's a big deal because basically at that point I wanted to go home anyway and I wasn't paying attention. But I just figured I'd bring it up here. So it really didn't faze me. Anyway, because Kang comes back and Ant-Man gets in a fist fight with Kang. That seems like a bad idea, right? But Ant-Man kind of holds his own unrealistically for a few minutes. It's kind of lame. Kang will beat him. And in comes Wasp again to save the day. And Kang falls into like another machine, a shrinky machine. I don't know. And it looks like he gets sucked into the machine again, kind of like Yellow Jacket did in the first Ant-Man movie. So is Kang and now the QR of the QR? I mean, how many QRs are there? Is that what happened? Let me know in the comments because I didn't understand what happened to Kang. But at the end of the movie, the Ant family, they go home. All is well, but we are told, I think, if my notes are correct, Kang will return. So, again, what was the point of all this? There are two post-credit scenes. The first one, we see the Council of Kang. It's a stadium filled with thousands of Kangs, and they're all yelling and screaming. They're all obnoxious, so it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but there's like King Tut Kang and, I don't know, some other dumb Kangs. I don't think it looked that good. And I guess they think that Kang the Conqueror is dead. I don't know how they know that. And because he's dead, they're going to like now fill the void and do something. Again, feel free to explain what was going on there because I wasn't quite following it. And the second post-credit scene is Loki and Owen Wilson. It seems like they're back in the 20s. and they're watching a version of Kang up on stage talking about the benefits of time travel or something. Again, I was ready to go home. So the post-credit scenes are kind of whatever. Was this the worst MCU movie that I've ever seen? No, it's not the worst one. I think it's better than Wakanda Forever. That's not saying much, but it's just very forgettable. I mean, these movies don't represent what I loved about the comics growing up. So there's a big disconnect between the comics and these films for sure at this point. This is just another cookie cutter, homogenized product from the Disney Corporation. I've met Kang, and I'm already ready to say goodbye to Kang. I'm good. Maybe normies will find this entertaining, but I think comic book fans will find this film to be a very empty experience. I never need to see it again. I definitely don't need to buy it. If it's free at home on Disney Plus, maybe my son and I will try to watch it, but odds are he's going to want to turn it off. And there you go. There's my review of Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie. Next week is a big week because we're going to review Cocaine Bear. Yeah, and episode 2 of Picard Season 3. So next week is going to be a good week, all right? Come back and join me so we can talk about it. Everybody have a great day, a great night, a great weekend. And as always, I will see you on the new.